Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Para que Hablar podcast. We are your host, Yuli,
And Yasmin Para.
and we're the Para sisters coming back to you with a new episode. Today's episode is going to be on the lighter side. It's going to be a change of theme. It's kind of a Q&A, get to know us slash advice episode. So my first question to you, Yasmin, is what's your number one all-time favorite movie?
I think for the horror genre, I would probably say it's kind of difficult to say which one because I kind of like both of the movies really equally. But I like House of Wax and I love it's like a series, but I love the Wrong Turn movies. I'm a big horror thriller mystery type fan. I'm also like into other stuff, right? Comedy and stuff because my favorite like comedy movie would be like Elf. But like for horror, like all time movie, like one that I'd have to watch for like the rest of my life is like probably either between House of Wax or the Wrong Turn movie series. I don't have a specific Wrong Turn that's my favorite, but I like all of them. Other than like the third one, I think. But yeah, I think those would be my favorite horror movies
Yeah,
or
I
just
think
movies.
I think all of us in general as sisters really like horror movies. Like I don't know where that came from. I just know that that's like our favorite genre. But okay, so that was my question to you. So now you can go.
Okay, so my question for you is: has there been anything going on in your life recently, something that's big, or anything that, maybe got you excited, or any just like big thing that happened in your life
Like
recently?
basically any big life event?
Uh huh.
For me, not really, not a big life event, but I mean, I would say this is kind of upcoming. Maybe my birthday. Like my birthday is literally
Tomorrow,
tomorrow. The
yeah.
day that we're filming this is gonna be tomorrow, May 31st. So I'm gonna be turning 23. So it's my Jordan year. So I'm
Yeah.
excited because I really want to. Like, I have a lot of goals that I want to meet in this upcoming year, and I know that it's gonna be an important year for me because, like, literally, it's gonna be my year. I just feel like it's gonna be my year, and I'm just excited. That would be like my biggest thing that I'm waiting on right now.
That was a pretty good response actually.
Thank you.
But okay, so how do you feel about traveling? Is there anywhere specific you would like to travel?
Oh, yes, definitely. I know that I want to travel to California and I really want to go
California.
to like Texas too because there's a lot of Hispanic people in Texas and California. And from like California, what I've seen, it has a lot of like culture over there. It's almost like if it was Mexico, from what I've heard. Like there's so many stores, so many places you can visit. There's so many like little food stands that are like so authentic to Mexico, so I really, really would be interested in going to California. Like that's my number one like place I really want to go to. So I really hope to be able to go there one
Is there
day.
any like specific part of California?
Like maybe I would say definitely like LA would be really cool to visit, but I am scared of the traffic there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm scared, but I'll see if I can do it.
I feel like California is a really good place to pick just because of the water. But another
Oh
thing is
yeah.
the heat. You don't
Oh
like the
yeah.
heat at all.
Yeah, that's true. That I'm not gonna lie, but at least it's just gonna be a vacation. It's not gonna be living there.
That's true. True, because everybody like when they travel, they'd like to go to someplace warm, like maybe with somewhere that there's water, because I feel like that's like relaxing to some people or
and
to most people.
And because I feel like I'm the opposite of that. I like going to places when it's cold. Like my vacations, I don't be taking them in the summertime. I be taking them in wintertime. I'm talking like almost Thanksgiving, almost Christmas time. Like that's when I really like to travel because it's cold. I love visiting like mountains.
Yeah.
Like to Tennessee, when I went to Tennessee, it was like Christmas time. Or yeah, it was like Christmas time because I remember there was a bunch of Christmas lights and everything like that, so it was really enjoyable. Like I really like traveling during the cold time. When it's hot, I don't even want to go outside.
Yeah, plus
So
whenever it's like fall season type cold season, I feel like things look much better because I feel like fall it makes any place look better.
oh yeah, for sure. And then the heat is just too much
Yeah, and
for
like
me
you can enjoy
personally.
yourself more being outside because you're not like dying of heat or like wanting
Yeah.
water as much. Like you just enjoy
Yeah, you
the
enjoy the
breeze.
weather, enjoy the breeze, enjoy the Christmas lights, which I love. So,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I feel like
Okay.
California was really good.
So my next question to you is, what's your favorite show?
Oof, this one's kind of difficult because I like a lot of different shows, especially new ones that I've been watching recently. But
But
like,
like, what's a show that you like say number one tops any other show that you've ever watched?
oh, okay, this one's gonna be a little bit difficult, but I think I would probably say like out of like childhood show or just any show in
Any
general.
show in general. It can be a horror, it can be comedy show, it can be reality show, any show.
Well, I enjoy watching. Um, I really enjoyed the show The 100.
The 100?
Yeah, The
Whoa,
100.
really? I've never watched that, so I don't
Oh,
know
you
what
should
it is.
watch it.
I
It's
think
really good.
I've gotten it recommended, but I just haven't gotten around to watching it. But
Or another show that I really liked also was Never Have I Ever.
whoa, what is that about?
It's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to like see it,
Oh
but it's
Lord.
basically about this high school girl and her group of friends and stuff like that. And she basically like has things that she wants to accomplish before high school ends. And then like towards the end of like the show, because I was actually rewatching it, but towards the end of the show, like she basically like meets different guys and like has a bunch of like it's kind of just like what a high school girl goes through, basically like kind of
Oh
showing
wow,
that.
that
Yeah.
sounds good. That sounds to me like
And it
I'm
was
fabulous.
yeah, and
Cause
she's Indian. So, like the girl in the Never Have I Ever, she's Indian. So it kind of like shows like kind of I don't know, like a different piece. Like it's not like just like
a
a white person,
regular
yeah, or anything. Like
like
it's
person here in the US or anything like that.
because she's the only Indian girl in the whole entire school. So
Whoa, that sounds interesting.
yeah. So
Hey, I
that
might give
was
that a try.
yeah.
And who's your favorite artist?
Does it matter if it's like Hispanic or English?
Mm, just your number one like favorite artist that like you feel like you would not be able to live without his music. His or her
His,
music.
yeah. Most likely his though, but
Yeah.
wait, so like it can't be like groups, it would have to be an
It can be a
individual
grupo.
artist?
It can be
Okay.
a grupo.
Edición especial. Edición
I knew
especial.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah, Edición especial or Junior H or Eslabón Armado. Those are my top three. And
But
like
you mentioned Edición Especial, so I'm gonna say that's your number one.
yeah, Edición Especial has to by far be my number one because I feel like I like their songs are just good. Like their lyrics, everything is smooth. Same thing with his Labon, like Pedro and stuff, writing his own music. I feel like really, really like dedicated.
Yeah, he is dedicated.
And Junior actually just has a good voice. His songs are really good too. Like, and they're
Yeah.
really relatable.
And he's
So
looking really good.
yeah,
So
he's looking too good.
okay, your next question.
Okay, so who would you say has made the most influence in your life?
That's a really good question. I feel like I've had a lot of influential people in my life, but the number one person that has made me like change kind of like maybe the way I am and stuff like that would probably have to be my mom because like me and my mom, we have had like a really rocky relationship in the past. Like whenever I was growing up, me and her did not get along at all. And it's just because we were like I was a teenager, she already has like lived her life and stuff like that, and she was trying to get me to go down a good path and I was going against that. But like now that I'm grown and stuff like that, I feel like I definitely get where she was coming from and I see all the advice that she was trying to give me and stuff. So she's made me change a lot of my like thinking ways and stuff like that, and that maybe I should listen to her more. So I would say my mom.
Oh, that's a really good response. I feel like, honestly, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because I know that a lot of people have rocky relationships with their parents, especially when they're teenagers. Like,
Yes.
such me as an example.
Yeah, because now that I'm grown, I feel like me and my mama are like BFFs, like number one. Like she's my number one.
Well, that's something that's good, obviously.
Yasmin, what's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food. I feel like a lot of people ask me this, and I can never have a certain like I can never pitch which one I really like which food that I really love. But something like as in like fast food or like just any food, any
Any
food.
food, any food, whether it's homemade, fast food, or
I keep asking that. I'm like, just this, just that.
yeah.
I think I'd probably have to say, like, on the top of my head, I don't know, I don't really eat it that much, but I love it when I do eat it, is sushi.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
I love sushi.
surprised. I didn't even know you ate sushi like that.
I eat sushi when I see it.
Wow. What's your favorite type of sushi that you eat?
I don't know. I just like the like I don't know what it's called, but I know it's like kind of this. It's like kind of more spicy. It has like the spicy sauce in it, and it has like
Is it like the
orange
spicy tuna
balls or
roll?
something like that. I think it might be. I don't know. I don't really check the name. I just grab it.
Dang. Because
Yeah.
I like sushi too, but I don't be trying like the really, really like raw fish, all that stuff. I don't
Oh
really
no,
go
me
that much
neither.
into
I like the
sushi.
rolled
I
ones.
like the California roll. Like that's my number one go-to sushi, and that's like I think the only one I really like. Because I've tried other ones, but I haven't really liked them. Like I like the California roll, and then like the ones that have really a lot of raw fish in them, I will not touch. Like I won't even try them. I have not tried them.
No, yeah, but I don't really eat sushi that much. But when I do see it, I like it. Like depending on what sushi it is, because I don't like the sushi that has wasabi. Ugh,
Oh
no,
yeah.
wasabi's gross. I don't.
Yeah, wasabi. I don't like wasabi either.
Yeah, I just like the regular, like kind of spicy-ish tuna, but not too spicy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be spicy, but I like sushi just like.
I'm surprised that you said sushi also because I was thinking that you were gonna say shrimp
Oh yeah,
because
I
I
love
know that
shrimp.
you love shrimp like quesadilla shrimp, shrimp
Yeah.
and caldo. Like she be eating that shrimp up.
Yeah. I mean, technically, that's that. Those both are considered seafood, though. So I guess
Oh,
seafood
it's
would be the
true.
category. Anything seafood. Well, no, actually, I don't really like lobster or anything. I've never tried lobster.
Yeah, because I know you've been getting like what's that called? Shrimp fried rice.
Yeah, but I don't like I don't necessarily like seafood because I don't really like fish. I used to like fish back when I was little, but then like
Like you
growing
don't
up
like
it
tilapia?
started tilapia.
Like
Yeah,
the one that my
I
mom
do like
makes?
tilapia, but I don't like fish
Like
soup
salmon.
or anything. Like the one,
Oh,
yeah, like the one that my mom makes. I don't like that.
yeah.
Yeah, or just like fried fish. Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah. I don't
absolutely
really like
not.
that much fried
I
fish
don't even
either.
like fried shrimp.
Me personally, I only like tilapia. And then shrimp, I used to not even like. I used to not like shrimp at all whenever I was younger. Like that caldo that you guys be eating, I used to not even like taste that. But now that I'm older, I do like. I'm starting to love shrimp a whole lot more, and I feel like shrimp is really healthy, so it's a good food to like.
Yeah, like I feel like any shrimp is good, especially like the seasoned shrimp.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
seasoned shrimp.
with some
I could
steak,
eat
girl.
that.
Bye.
Oh yeah, also like carne asada,
Yes.
or tacos de asada with salsa verde. Oh,
Yes.
that's
That
top
is,
tier.
yeah. I know you like quesabirria too, so I'm
Oh yeah.
surprised that you didn't say that either.
Well,
Like,
I
I
don't know.
thought I
I
knew
just
you.
I don't know. I really like all like I like like a lot of different type of foods, but like I said, I can never pinpoint which one because I like I can like a lot of stuff. Like for example, quesadilla, shrimp and stuff, but I can never be like, oh yeah, like this is like
And I
that.
feel like you, out of all of the sisters, like really like to try different things. Cause like I know you like barbecue sauce. Me, Nancy, and Mary have never in our lives liked barbecue sauce. You like Dr. Pepper.
I
No
love
one in our
Dr.
family
Pepper.
likes Dr. Pepper. Like you be going out there and trying new things for sure.
One thing though, I'll for sure never try is that almond joy. I do not like almonds. I don't like almonds. I don't like coconut. No, I don't like
Yeah.
tomatoes. I mean,
Oh.
I like ketchup, but I don't like tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, but moving on. Okay, so when have you grown the most in your life, and what caused that growth?
Probably, I would say definitely when I went to my Emmaus Retiro, that's whenever I really, really changed a lot. And it obviously that's the reason because of that Retiro, I like got really closer to God, and like I had a big personality change because I feel like I used to be really high tempered, like I would get angry easily and stuff like that. And then after going to Retiro and stuff like that, I was able to manage it more, and now I'm like I feel like I don't have like a high temper like at all. Like I still get angry and stuff sometimes, but not as much like as I used to. Like I used to have like
Like you
anger
learned to
issues for
control
sure.
it.
Yeah, I used to have anger issues, I would say. But my next question to you is what is your favorite song? So you can put everyone on it.
Oof, what is my favorite song?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely has. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this one's really difficult because I like a lot of different songs right now.
What's like the number one song that you'd be playing like nowadays?
Um, hmm. Well, one that I've recently been playing a lot is Loquerón por Amor. Yeah,
Oh.
that one's really good. I think I've learned the lyrics
And that's
now.
by who?
Junior H.
Oh wow.
But like, if I had to say like for my favorite artist, which is Edición Especial, I'd probably have to say, I don't know. I kind of like a lot of their songs, but my top two. I have a lot of their songs that I like, but I would say that the top one has to be Quédate conmigo or Sobre mis pies.
Oh, I love Quédate conmigo.
Yeah.
That one's a banger.
Yeah, definitely.
And So de mis pies is good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, those are my top two songs from Edición Especial. But I've been dedicated like from my friend and stuff, Perfecta and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Perfecta's good too.
yeah, all their songs are good. Okay, so moving on. Okay, this one's a little bit more on the different side, but what do you think about dating and relationships?
I think, oof, that one's gonna be a little bit hmm, hard to say. So I think dating and relationships is always gonna be a complicated thing, no matter if it's for like teenagers or if it's for like older people. Because like even marriage is hard. So I think it's gonna be really hard to decipher. Like, do you mean like more for like me personally and for other people?
I feel like you can, I don't know, I just feel like it's something really controversial. I feel like everyone has a different view of dating and relationships. So I would kind of say, like, how would you view how a relationship should go?
Oh, wow. I think that a relationship should definitely be like a lot of the guy doing for the girl because dating is when you get to know a person. And I feel like women in general put a lot of effort into relationships. So I feel like what should be reciprocated should be a guy also putting in a lot of effort. And I feel like that's where a lot of guys kind of mess up in a lot of like today's relationships is like not doing enough stuff for like the girl and stuff like that. Because even in marriage, the woman always ends up putting a whole lot more effort than a guy does. So I think like my number one piece of advice for like relationships is for like get a guy that you feel like since the moment that you start dating that he is like doing the most for you, like that he's opening like the car door for you, that he's being a gentleman. That is like the number one green flag that you can find in a guy.
But another thing, though, that can be controversial to that is I feel like a lot of guys know that women like guys like men to do that. So I feel like they purposely try to do that, but that doesn't represent them as a person.
So you think it's like they do it, but then they end up like being a different type of person
But they do it
whenever.
for a reason. Like they don't do it because they genuinely want to open the car door for you. Because then that starts to fade away, and then they just stop doing it. So
I feel like if
I feel like
something
that's
like that
something that you
starts to
shouldn't
fade
really
away,
pay attention
that's a red
to.
flag. I feel like if something like that starts to fade away, that's definitely a red flag. Like, because like your love should be continuing to grow, not to diminish. So honestly, if it starts to fade away, I would say start looking for another person.
But well, yeah, I guess that's
Because
kind
it
of
like
true. But I feel like there's a lot of
that to
different
me
things to look
screams like
at.
that guy's giving someone else attention, or he's not as into you as you think he is.
Okay, good point. Fair point. That's a good
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
Okay, so
So my next question to you, Yasmin, is which sister are you closest to?
oh no, how did I know you were
I'm
gonna
getting
ask
the tea
this?
on the podcast for y'all.
Okay, which sister do I think that I'm closest to?
Yes.
That one would be a little bit difficult to like kind of pinpoint which one I'm closest to because since I live with Nancy and like obviously we like stay in the same room and stuff like that, I
Yeah.
feel like it kind of brings us closer, but it can also kind of bring us apart because obviously the discussions, the arguments, and disagreements.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like on some part, I feel like I'm kind of closest to her just because we live together and like obviously we spend more time together, I feel like, than me and you or me and my other sister, our other sister. Um but I feel like I'm also on some part kind of close to you because now obviously this podcast has brought us together
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I feel like also just like aside from the podcast and stuff, I feel like we have a better way of communicating than us and the rest of the sisters.
Yes.
So I feel like that's something that can also bring us together, and I feel like I also feel pretty close to you because of that. So I feel like it's kind of a difficult like thing to like kind of say which one I'm closest to, but I would say like physically I'm obviously closer to Nancy, and emotionally like I guess like communicating and stuff like that, I would probably have to say me and you, just because we have the same kind of views on stuff, like
Yes.
on a lot of different stuff. Obviously we sometimes have our disagreements because we're not the same person, but I feel like we view things kind of in the same mannerism than us and the rest of the sisters, because I feel like Nancy and our other sister are kind of a lot more, I guess, like closer than me and you have ever been kind of to them. Like obviously we're all sisters and we all talk and stuff like that, but I feel like, obviously there's always going to be like kind of like a division
Hmm.
because everyone's different in their own way. But I feel like I would definitely have to say probably me and you emotionally, and obviously physically me and Nancy.
Yeah, because I feel like Nancy and Mary kind of actually have been getting closer in the past few years, and me and you have been getting closer in the past few years. Because I know before that it used to be different. Like me and you really didn't like bond a lot because you were
Yeah.
so young, and I was like literally in my 18, 19s, so it was really different for you and me to be able to bond. But yeah, just like you said, lately we've been bonding a lot because of the podcast, because of other situations, and emotionally, just like you said, our views. Like I think we're like on the same level of like almost maturity. Like we both understand each other in our situations, so that has really helped us grow together.
Yeah.
And
And I
yeah,
definitely agree with you on that part of you saying that it was because I was like young and stuff like that, because I do remember like back then, like a couple years back, I remember you used to be really close to Nancy.
exactly. Like the relationship shifted a little bit because yeah, just like you said, I used to be closer to Nancy,
Mhm.
and yeah, you were really more like not on the
I was really more
loner
closer to
side.
Angel.
Yeah, you were closer to Angel. I was just about to say,
That's,
yeah.
yeah, because also me and Angel are kind of in the same age group,
Uh
but
huh.
obviously,
I feel
you
like you and
know,
Angel are still close, but like obviously we're talking about
we're in a
sisters
different
here.
like section of our lives. So like obviously me about to like be a senior and stuff like that, and Angel's
Yeah,
barely starting, or no, Angel's a sophomore.
yeah,
Yeah, Angel's a sophomore, so we're both in our different kind of section of our life, so it's a little bit harder to talk now.
yeah.
But
And then
obviously he's
obviously a
still my
guy
nephew.
and girl is like always different. So
Yeah, really different. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that would probably be my answer though. Like me and you, probably emotionally, more like understandably,
yeah.
and then Nancy physically. So that's my definitive answer.
Okay.
Okay, so my question for you would be, or is, what is your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment would probably be whenever I got my high school diploma because I dropped out whenever I was in high school and I didn't go back to go get my high school diploma until I think 2 years later. Yeah, I think it was 2 years later when I was 20 years old. And I say high school diploma because it is my high school diploma. It's not a GED. Thank the Lord that I got an opportunity to actually get my high school diploma after having dropped out. So I think that is 100% my proudest accomplishment right then and there.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, especially, it's kind of difficult for people to have the motivation to be
Yeah,
able to
because
get
I've
it.
always heard people say like GED is not the same and this and that and the third. Well, thank the Lord I don't have my GED. I have my high school
But you
diploma.
kind of do the same work as for a high school diploma, don't you?
What as for the GED?
Yeah.
Yeah, but people say that it's not worth as much as a high school diploma because like GED like shows, yeah, you dropped out, you still got your school stuff done, but you dropped out. Like it, that's what I've heard people say. But either way, I'm thankful that I got my high school diploma. I don't have a GED, so
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's my answer. And my question to you is if you could pick what state to live in, which would you pick and why?
Oh, okay. A state. Okay. I would probably, I feel like a while back we used to talk about this, especially you, because I think we were both kind of thinking it. But back then my response would was different, but now I think I would probably choose Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah, I would probably choose Colorado because I feel like it has a lot of nice views. It's more, um, I wouldn't say like solitary over there, but it's definitely like separated from like the rest. It's not really a high population there that I know of. And I feel like you kind of have your own space. Not a lot goes on down in Colorado. And I feel like it's more peaceful down there. It's not really like much heat. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like it gives you a lot more calmer, comfortable vibes than like crowded places like, for example, Texas with heat. I feel like it just kind of makes you feel overstimulated. At least me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely would make me feel really overstimulated. I know that Texas has like a lot of places to go to, a lot of, attractions to see. But I feel like I would want to be someplace more comfortable where I don't like, I don't know, where you don't get bothered a lot or anything.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good answer because for me personally, I feel like Colorado, yeah, Colorado has more snow. It's not as much heat as here in NC. So, yeah, that's a good answer. I would definitely like to go to Colorado too.
But obviously,
And
like,
the views over there, like the mountains and all that stuff, the Colorado
yeah,
mountains.
like you
Oh,
can go
wow.
out, walk, and stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely love to live there. I would love to live in any state where it's colder than here.
Yeah, plus I've seen like a lot of YouTube videos of people going and visiting Colorado, and it just looks nice. Like they enjoy their time over there and
Heck,
stuff.
if I
But
can
also
live
a
in
vacation,
Alaska, I'll move to Alaska.
but also a vacation is a lot different than living there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'll
hmm
give you that one.
Or Tennessee. Tennessee is also really good. I would probably want to live in Tennessee
Oh,
too.
yes, Tennessee is beautiful.
Awesome. I love Pigeon
Beautiful.
Forge, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it also has it has its fair share of attractions and stuff.
It's a really fun town, like a really
hmm
fun state.
It's different too because it has mountains. You have a lot of views too, especially the cabins. Except the only thing that I wouldn't really like is that it's kind of dangerous. The roads, like obviously, if it were to like get icy one day, get really cold down there, that's the only thing I don't really like.
Yeah.
But besides that, I feel like Tennessee would also be a really good place for me, like to want to go to because I visited there like twice.
Yeah, and I know you guys like going, like always have the idea of going back
Yeah,
because it's that
definitely,
good.
but obviously money's a factor too. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So my question for you is what five people would you bring with you if you were stuck on a desert island?
Definitely number one, my husband Milton. I would bring him. I would bring you. That's two. I'll bring my mama, even though she's gonna be scared. And then I would bring, oof, two more people. That's gonna be tough.
Wait, why would you bring me? What would I contribute?
What would you contribute?
Yeah.
I think you have a good brain, like to think like in like fast thinking situations. I think you're good for that. Like
Okay.
giving a good idea. Like if I say, "How do we start a fire?" or something like that, that you'll be able to be like, "Why don't you just do this?"
Okay,
So you have like problem solving skills. And
okay.
I feel like my mom, she's just gonna panic the whole time. So I need someone to calm her down, and you're gonna be there. So
True, true. No, I feel like my mom would help us cook.
oh yeah, she can cook the fish that we were able to get, the
Yeah.
tilapia.
Okay,
And
okay.
then for the last two people, I would have to say my dad. I'll have to bring my dad, and then lastly, I'm gonna have to bring someone good. Like I can bring anyone.
Yeah, like even like I don't know, medical and stuff.
Oh wow, I'd bring a good doctor.
A good doctor.
Yeah,
I would just bring a person like an
because
airplane
he
fire.
a doctor has like a lot of experience and like, for example, if you were to get bitten by something like an insect or something like that,
True,
or a
but
snake, something like that. So a doctor's always good to have around. Those would be the five
true,
people.
true. I feel like, yeah, I feel like those are fair answers. So yeah, yeah, because I
Okay.
feel like everybody would contribute in their own way.
My next question to you is do you believe ghosts are real?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, I would definitely say that I believe in ghosts because just like we believe in God and stuff, like we believe in the good, I know that there's also bad. So I would definitely say that I believe in ghosts. I feel like a lot of people kind of take it as a joke sometimes though, because I know that a lot of people like make hoax videos or like fake videos. Um and I feel like that's also what makes people believe that ghosts aren't real. But I do believe that ghosts are real. I just feel like you would need to kind of be around, I guess, like you would kind of need to experience it for yourself.
Hmm.
So I feel like personally I've never experienced anything, but I still believe in it because I feel like just like there's good, there's also bad.
So you definitely do believe in ghosts,
Yeah,
like
I've never
haunted
had a
houses,
personal
stuff like that.
experience, but I can definitely believe in it without saying it.
Wow.
Just like we
Okay.
believe in God and stuff like that.
Okay. Good answer.
Okay, now my question for you is what qualities do you look for in a partner?
Bro, you know, the funny thing is, my next question to you was, what qualities do you look for in a friend?
Oh,
I thought you were just about to ask me the same thing.
that's so crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was. That's why I said, bro. Like, not for any other reason. But my answer to the partner one would be definitely, like I said, someone who is a gentleman, someone who is like constantly showing you love and attention, someone who's also not afraid to do like women's work. When I say women's work, I mean like cleaning and stuff like that, cleaning around the house, helping cook, stuff like that. Like that to me is like my number one, like really good green flag quality. Because if there's a guy that's like, no, I don't do stuff like that, like that's only for girls and stuff like that. Like to me, that's a red flag.
Mhm.
Because like,
It's not choosing.
why are you saying that? So I
Yeah,
would
I
say
feel like that
those.
also shows a lot of like independent, like you're independent as a man,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like there's certain qualities that can make you independent as a woman,
Yeah.
like that you know how to do a man's work.
Yeah, and then
So,
I feel like that also shows like that you as a man also appreciate, what a woman's work is, which is like washing clothes and stuff like that. Like, cause I know there's guys out there that say like that's not even work, anything like that.
hmm,
Like saying that that's easy and stuff like that. Like when
yeah,
it's
until you
not, like
actually do
keeping up
it.
with children and stuff like that is not easy.
Mhm.
So I would say that's my answer.
For the friend, okay, so what qualities do I look for in a friend?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely look for how you treat your friend. I feel like in my scenario, I feel like I feel like I've sometimes chosen good friends, but you're not always going to be able to judge someone accordingly to how you
Mm-hmm.
believe that they are. But I have a really close good friend, Kata, and I actually have a couple of friends. Not too much, just because I feel like there's always like you don't want to keep your friend group too big because that's how just more problems get caused. But I feel like the qualities that I looked for or that I see in mine and Kata's friendship, because we've been friends for a lot of years now, like a lot. And I feel like something that I see between me and her is that we both are really comfortable with each other. Like we are really open. We don't like have any like envidias, any like I don't know, like we don't judge each
Jealousy.
yeah. We don't have like a lot of jealousy or like judgment in ourselves. Like we say like what we want to, we're honest with each other, and we also like whenever we have issues, we try to work them out to the best of our ability because obviously everyone has like a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of pride in them even. But I feel like cuz we have had an issue in the past, and I feel like it took a lot for both of us to kind of put our pride to the side, but I feel like we both kind of made like our friendship a priority, um, like and put our pride aside. So I feel like that's something that you should also look for in a friend, someone that is willing to work through issues with you, kind of like a relationship, more of like a friendship, because I feel like relationships are really like different from friendships, and I feel like friendships require a lot more, if that makes sense.
And then I feel like, for example, for that situation that you're talking about that you had with Kata, like the time apart that you guys had, like made you guys value yourselves each other more as like
Hmm.
friends, and then it also ended up making your friendship stronger because now you
Yeah.
know that you don't want to go through that again. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what me and her were talking about because I feel like whenever you do spend your time away from someone, like whether it's a friend or a partner, I feel like it learns to make you like it kind of changes your life a little bit because like you take them out of your daily routine, you take them out of like kind of your life and everything. And I feel like that's something that both me and her saw because after we discussed it, we were kind of like, kind of like not bonding over it, but we were kind of like, oh yeah, like this, that. And so I feel like that's something that kind of made us like grow our friendship. I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, like if you have a big fight with your friend, like you guys aren't really friends. But I feel like if anything, I feel like if you recuperate yourself from that big, whatever happened, I feel like it kind of just demonstrates how strong your friendship is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I obviously you're not gonna have like a friendship all rainbows and butterflies because like I said, it's possible, but I definitely feel like with like how things are now, there's a lot
It's
more
not
issues.
realistic.
Yeah, it's really not realistic, and so then I feel like I'm kind of grateful for like I don't know, like I'm kind of grateful for having a friend like her because I feel like also another thing is that we support each other a lot. Like obviously me and her have been through a lot together as well as like individually,
Hmm.
and I feel like something that you have to look for in a friend, at least that I look for, is definitely support, understanding, and I feel like you kind of look have to look for like how they treat you in front of other people and
Oh,
how they
that's
treat
good.
you by yourself. And like how they like react whenever you guys do have a disagreement and stuff like that.
That's a good answer.
I feel like
That's a
there's
really good
yeah,
answer.
there's definitely a lot more to look at in a friendship, but I feel like off the top of my head, those are the main things that I have to look because I feel like if you're acting different, like if you're treating me differently in front of other people, then I would
That's
just
like
think
not a
that you're
true
weird.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like me and Kata have never been weird in front of other people. Like we've never treated each other differently in front of other people. We always like stick to us. Like no matter if it's a guy or a girl or another thing. Like me and Kat, I feel like we've been through like trios, a squad or whatever, like how they say it.
Hmm.
And for some reason, it's always just ended up being me and Kat just being friends by ourselves, duo. But yeah, so I feel like that's definitely how you can tell that you have a strong friendship with someone.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, so my question for you again is what couples do you look up to most or want your own life to look like?
Couples. Wow, that's a really tough question. Um, I would say definitely. Well, I have my padrinos that I have for my velacion. My padrinos from velacion is definitely one of the couples that I feel like I definitely look up to because their relationship is really sincere, really simple, and you can tell that they try to like pray a lot together and they try to better themselves each other day and day, and then like they're close to God, so they have like a really good example of like what me and my husband should be. And they've also invited us to like get closer to God all the time and to serve more in church and stuff like that. So I would say that that is probably the number one couple that I look up to personally.
Oh, that's a really good response. I feel like, well, okay, like in that view, I would probably say like, I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of a difficult answer because I feel like I've always looked up to couples who treat each other good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always think like obviously of God being the center of your relationship, but I also feel like I've always seen as in them treating you good, and I feel like what yours was like God being the center of your relationship.
Yeah.
But I was personally gonna say, I was gonna say like Anagastellum and Casey. I don't know if you know who they are, or like Lilian Griego and Carlos Parra.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, their relationship, I feel like you can always tell like when a guy genuinely loves a girl
yeah.
because of everything he does for her, and I feel like both of their husbands have demonstrated how much they love, like, obviously like Anna and Lilian.
Well, for me, I don't really have like follow a lot of couples, honestly, like on YouTube or anything like that or TikTok. I don't follow a lot of couples point blank. I don't know why, but I just that's why I didn't say like a famous couple or anything like that.
Oh, I only no, I've only ever seen their like I sometimes they pop up on my For You page and then like I see like their like goals or something. Like I think that in my head. I'm like, oh, like it'd be nice to kind of be treated like that, or like,
Yes.
especially whenever you've gone through something.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So,
My next question to you is, would you ever actually stay in a haunted place? Like for real, if you had the opportunity to stay in a haunted place.
um, I don't know actually. I probably, oh, like, mm, like to sleep at a haunted place or to go visit.
Um, Stay at a haunted place, which means like you could stay there for like a night or a week or whatever, and just like stay like for a little bit.
Mm, haunted place. Okay, it would depend how haunted. First off, like if it's like a door slamming and stuff like that, or if it's just like noises that you hear, then that like I would depend. It would depend really how haunted it is.
Oh, wow.
But I would probably, yeah, I would consider it because I feel like that could be life changing. I don't know. I feel
So,
like plus I would like. I'm not saying like I would like to experience something like that, but I feel like it would be really
like
interesting.
proof, it'd be like proof.
Yeah, like to see something like happening in front of your face, because you hear it all the time, but you never see it or
That's
you've
true.
never experienced it. So I feel like if I were to experience it, then I feel like I would like not appreciate it more, but I feel like it would make me, kind of believe it more, because like I said, I believe in ghosts and stuff,
Hmm.
but until like I experience it, my thing will just be like, oh, well, like yeah, I believe they exist, but I've never seen it until I experience it. It's kind of like you can't see it, but you hear it or something like that. I don't know, something around those lines. But yeah, that would probably be my answer that I would.
I have two last questions.
Okay.
So, what song will you always dance to at a party? Like, what's your song that you will automatically get you up and get you dancing at any party?
Caballo Dorado and Payaso Rodeo.
I knew it. I knew it. I just had to confirm that I
Yeah,
knew that.
definitely those two. If you don't get up, what are you
Yeah, if you don't get
doing?
up, yeah, I was about to say bye.
Like your leg better be broken or something.
And even then, get them crutches and get up.
Yes, or like for like norteñas and stuff like that, I would probably say Belleza de Cantina.
Oh,
And for like guapangos, I would definitely say, like taka. What is it called? Takata,
takata.
or it's like taka. I don't know. Something. I don't know, something around or el takata. I think it's called that, el takata. But yeah, definitely that one. I feel like that is my song to get up and dance for guapangos.
Okay, and then I saved the best question for last, the
Oh.
juiciest of the juiciest. Yasmin, do you regret not having a quinceañera?
Oh. Oh my goodness. I would definitely. I Yeah, I do. I was actually just discussing that with one of my friends the other like week that we went to a quinceañera, and it's kind of like I don't get upset, but like sometimes I would just like you wish that you would have had one because like even like some of my friends they've had like Kata, she's had hers and stuff like that, and I feel like whenever you see like them posting about like their beautiful dress, because I had a dress, but it wasn't like an actual quinceañera
Yeah,
dress.
like a vals and all that.
Yeah, and like I wish I would have had like a party and stuff like that because I feel like you kind of feel special, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like it would be nice just in general to have a memory like that,
Like my
or
party and stuff like that.
mhm, or like just like bonding, like I guess with like your chambelanes that you're with, I don't know, like
Your
enjoying your day.
damas, your friends.
Yeah, especially like the mass dropping flores off at the Virgen and stuff like that. I feel like,
Regalo sorpresa, the
mm-hmm.
last dance with your parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, and your muñeca. Like, I never
Yeah.
got my muñeca or
A grupo,
anything.
like you're the grupo that you want.
Uh-huh. Or like like I feel like even planning it in general, I feel like that would have been nice.
I feel like for me, even I have regret as a sister for like neither you or Nancy having a quinceañera. I feel like you guys should have had a quinceañera because it's like something that you're never ever gonna be able to experience ever in life again.
Yeah.
Like it's a one in a lifetime thing, and like it's sad that none of us, other than Mary, had one.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, yeah. I feel like even I feel regret that you guys didn't have one.
Yeah, plus like I
Because
feel
we
like,
could have been looking good as hell and all that stuff, and
yeah,
it just
looking
didn't
good.
happen.
Like your hair done, nails done,
Yeah.
everything done. Yeah, literally. I like even saying like my friends have it. Like I'm happy for them that they got theirs, but like deep down I'm just like, dang, I wish I would have had one.
Yeah.
You know, but like I mean, I guess financially we weren't there, but
Yeah.
but I like definitely if I were to have a daughter and stuff like that, then I would definitely make her have her
Well, let's
quince.
hope that
Not
our
make her have her
sobrina
quince.
Bianca, she's kind of coming up on those years that maybe she'll have a quinceañera, but I think she might. I'm pretty sure Mary would do her quinceañera.
Yeah, probably, possibly, hopefully, because
We're gonna be looking bad there too, so y'all just wait.
yeah, definitely. My
We're gonna
dad
be
was.
baddies.
I was definitely thinking of like having, because everyone was like, oh well, if you don't have a quinceañera, you can have a sweet 16. But I feel like a sweet 16 is not the same as a quinceañera.
Yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like sweet 16 is more like I don't know, like you're 16, you know, like in a quinceañera, like a quinceañera.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah,
Hispanic culture. If that makes
yeah.
sense.
Just the name.
Yeah, quite literally, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people say that planning quinceañeras and stuff is really stressful, but I feel like it would be fun. Like you're picking your outfit, you're picking your crown, you're going trying on different dresses and
I think
stuff.
it's stressful, but I think it's worth it. Any party's
Yeah.
stressful. Heck, a wedding is stressful. And everyone still does it.
But I feel like it would have been also less stressful for us just because my obviously our sister would teach the choreography. She would do the decorations. I wouldn't have to go look for a decorator. And yeah, and I would like really we would
Like we
only
really
like
had the opportunity to do a good quinceañera for y'all.
exactly,
It's
yeah.
just like, I mean, for Nancy, I know that the COVID thing, like that. I mean, hers is more acceptable because of COVID.
Yeah.
But yours, like COVID was over and stuff, so you could definitely had gotten one.
Yeah, and I could have like even if it was my little dress that I had, like
Yeah, because that dress was good.
yeah, I could
You
have
still
like
have it, right?
yeah, I think I do.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's move on into the advice part of the podcast. I just have two, so I'm gonna do my first one, and then Yasmin's gonna do the one she has, and then I'll end it off with the last one. So the first situation is my boyfriend doesn't allow dresses, leggings, crop tops because he thinks they're quote unquote gross. He says it's in my best interest since he knows how men think. Overall, he is a good guy, so I'm conflicted. What should I do?
Oh, okay. I would say that I feel like depending on what you wear, I feel like I don't know. Because me personally, as a woman, I think about what I wear. Like, I think I'm like, oh, well, like, I don't want to wear something too scandalous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I feel like there's also a line because you can wear like crop tops and stuff because that was what she stated, right? Crop
Yeah,
tops?
crop tops, dresses, and leggings.
Yeah, depending how the crop top looks, I feel like like me personally, I wear some crop tops, but I don't wear them like too short, you know, like right
Yeah.
below, like your chest.
Yeah, because there's some crop tops that are really revealing.
Yeah, and I would say like crop tops, there's nothing wrong with wearing crop tops, especially if it's like summer and stuff like that. I feel like it's more normal to see people wear crop tops
Mm-hmm.
around. And I don't think it's like gross to wear crop tops. It's like because it's normal, it's like a piece of clothing. But as long as it's not too revealing, you know what I mean? And then like as far as him saying like that he knows how men think, I feel like that kind of sounds machismo. I
Yes.
feel like it definitely like just because you think like that doesn't mean that everyone else thinks like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying like, oh, like a woman views this way, like not every woman views that way. I feel like everyone's different. So
Mhm.
I feel like you should get out of that.
So for me personally, my opinion and my advice here is like I definitely understand like the crop top, just like what you were saying. I understand what you were saying, like crop tops as long as they're not revealing and stuff like that. And I feel like there's a place for everything. Like you're definitely not gonna wear a crop top to church. Like that would be weird.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
you can wear crop tops like the store, like a grocery run, anything
The
like that. The
beach.
park, yeah, the beach, stuff like that. I find no problem in that. And even if they are like a little bit like short or whatever, I feel like you should have the freedom to dress how you want, because at the end of the day, like it's your body, like it's not your boyfriend's body and stuff like that. And then I feel like what made it more like, just like you said, machismo vibes is like what he said, like I know what men think. You know what men think, or you know what you think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like he's trying to take control of you in a way,
Yeah.
by like controlling what you wear. Like I feel like that's like how it starts off. Like he's trying to control what you wear, and then he's gonna try to control how much makeup you wear, and then how you do your hair, and then it gets worse and worse. I feel like if you give him like that power over you, it's just gonna continue to get worse. Like I honestly feel like that's a little bit of a red flag, and you should like talk to him about it and say that you don't feel comfortable. And if he doesn't like how you dress yourself, then maybe he should look for someone else.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you'd be saving yourself from a headache if you do that, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree with that.
Yes.
Definitely, I feel like you have a point, especially in that part where like that's what you think, not what everyone else
Yeah.
thinks. Okay, so my advice is a little bit different. I feel like I'm just giving forward advice, like for you to like think about process and stuff.
Mhm.
Because I think you're doing more scenarios, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so my advice, like direct advice, would be don't be hard headed. Like, don't, if someone tells you something, then I feel like you should push yourself to see it their way, kind of, unless it's like something that's obviously not correct and you can visually, like, not visually see, but like you can see through and see, like, oh no, this is wrong. But I feel like if someone really is saying like that they want better for you, I feel like you should really try to see it their way because, like, for example, I feel like a lot of teenagers nowadays, including me back then, and possibly even now, I feel like they sometimes our parents tell us like that they think a certain person's not good for us, as in like relationships and stuff. And I feel like because sometimes like I like to think of it as like sometimes love blinds us and stuff like that, like some the way that we see someone else that we really like or that we have a crush on or you're in a relationship with them, I feel like it kind of makes you blind to how they actually are or like how they treat you. And I feel like we should just listen and to other people. Like for example, your parents when they say that they shouldn't treat you like that, they shouldn't be acting like this and stuff or doing that either. I feel like you should not be hard headed and try to see it in their view, so that way you don't commit any mistakes that you will later regret. Obviously, you know, you're not going to go your entire whole life without committing mistakes, but I feel like it's something that you could prevent, like preventing mistakes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that would definitely be my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice would be don't let others talk down on you. Like, don't let other people publicly humiliate you or like lie on your name, because I feel like it can definitely affect your your reputation. It can affect the way that others see you. It can, I don't know, I feel like letting someone speak lies on you or down on you in general, I feel like it kind of just makes you look bad, because it's kind of like you're allowing someone to like, I don't know, like make you look bad on purpose, or like
Mhm.
whether it's like lies and stuff like that. I feel like you should never permit that, and you should always kind of stand your ground when it's like necessary and stuff like that, because I know that there's like certain times where you can't,
Mhm.
but I feel like when you have the opportunity to do so, do it, because then if not, you're gonna regret it later on. And then another piece of advice that I feel like I can relate to is keep up in school. I feel like if you start to procrastinate in your work and stuff like that, or if you feel like you're distracted with your job, then I feel like you should take the step and focus on your education first before trying to focus on making money. If you're really good at balancing like your job and your school, and you're keeping up in school, keeping up in your sports and stuff like that, because I know that there's people who do sports and do school, and then when they're doing their sports they like fall back in school. I feel like what you should always put first is your education, because I know that a lot of people have different views on education. Like they say that you don't need to like I guess study to be someone in life and stuff. And I feel like if that's how you view, well, that's like your point of view, but in my view, I feel like it is important for you to study. And I guess like I feel like what's most important is just for you to get your high school diploma, because obviously like you're gonna need it further down in life. Like whether you, if even if you don't need it right now, I feel like it's just like an accomplishment. Like you should want to do that, so that you feel accomplished. Because like even if you like you have the opportunity to do so, so why not take it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's something you should definitely try to do. Keep up in school. Don't let any like boy or anything distract you from your schoolwork. Like, and if they are, then that's not the type of person you want to be with, because they're supposed to be motivating you and not like sidetracking you. And another piece of advice I have is to plan ahead. And I guess this would go with also being on time, because I feel like you should plan ahead, as in like plan ahead in your future, plan ahead what your goals are, and like kind of look for opportunities. Another thing is to also be on time, because I feel like our family especially, we're almost always late to stuff. And
Y'all are, not me.
sometimes you.
I used to be, but that was for different reasons. Now I'm earlier than everyone else.
Okay, that could be factual, some part opinionative. But I would definitely say be on time, be early even. Like I feel like you should never like be just right. Well, no, that would technically be on time. But like you should never be late. I feel like you should always be early or be on time, because me and my dad were actually discussing this yesterday. I took him to a dental appointment, but he was telling me, because it was like 1:10, 1:15, and his appointment was at 2, and the place, like the dental place, was like about 15 minutes from where we live. So it was barely like 1:15, and I was like, oh, we can leave at 1:30 so that we can get there at 1:45. Either way, we get there early. And then my dad was like, no, like we should leave right now. And I was like, it's still early. It's like 40 minutes before your actual appointment. And so then, like, on the car ride, he was telling me, like, oh, like, we need to leave early. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like 30, 40 minutes before. And he was telling me that, like, basically what ended up happening was we ended up taking a wrong turn. And we ended up getting to the appointment at 1:50. And that's what
Wow.
my dad was like, see, like, imagine if we would have came at like 1:30, we would have taken the wrong turn and we would have gotten here late. And I feel like that definitely opened my eyes. I don't know. I feel like I've never been in a situation like that. Like I was like, nah, like I know exactly where this place is, but since my dad was driving, he took the wrong turn and everything. So yeah, so that's definitely, I was kind of like, okay, well, you have a point. Like it's definitely a
Yeah,
lesson
that's
learned.
funny because I was on the phone with my mom when this was happening yesterday, and mom was really like, "Your dad's gonna leave if you don't hurry up." He was being so impatient, and there was still like an hour left before his appointment.
Yeah, and I definitely saw that. Like, I was like, dang, like, that's true. So I put that down, because I was like, definitely, I need to let other people know too.
That's good.
And so another thing is to have a schedule. I feel like you should have a routine. You should have like something that you get used to. You don't want to have to do something different every day. I feel like once you get into a routine, you continue it, and that's a good habit if you have a schedule. Like for example, waking up in the morning, going to school, after school, going to the gym, and so forth, as well as like maybe going to school, getting out of school, going to work, going to gym. And I feel like that could be like that's good, like you have a routine, like you're continuing something that could lead you to success. So
Hmm.
I definitely like I definitely think that we should all have a schedule. And then I think that a lot of people, especially me, I know that it's harder for me to have a positive mindset about different things because I feel like I always tend to see the worst side in things, but I also try to see it's kind of like a little difficult to explain because in people I tend to see the best in people, and like other things I always tend to see like the negative. So I feel like you should always have a positive mindset because if you keep talking yourself down, if you keep thinking that you're not going to do good, like for say in a recital or something like that, I feel like it tends to make you more nervous. And then, like, I just feel like you should have a positive mindset in general because you know what they say, like, if you, like, the more you think positive, the more positive it comes out, like, the better it comes out, like, you worry less. And I feel like that's something that me as well as I feel like a lot of people can agree on that not a lot of people have positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's something that you should definitely have continuing on in life. Another thing is save up your money. Like save up your money since you're like 12, 13, 14, 15. You should save your money. I know that a lot of people now like they want to have their wants and stuff like that. Like for example, makeup, I don't know, like clothes, shoes, because I feel like something unnecessary that I see a lot of people do is buy expensive shoes, like crazy expensive shoes for absolutely no reason.
Well, if you think about it, a lot of today's people, like even makeup, is made to be bought out so much. Like there is so collab times collab times collab times collab. Like they'd be doing collabs with Dora just to make to like literally make money. Like these companies will try to sell you anything. So don't follow like the TikTok trends where they're like buy this, it's so good and stuff like that. Like I feel like that's where a lot of people also spend money
hmm
nowadays. It's like because of the TikTok trends, TikTok shop, all that stuff.
I
Like
feel
I
like
see
unless
all
it's
of that
something, I
now.
feel like if it's something really useful, then you should invest in it. But
If
or
you're just spending money to try out TikTok trends and stuff like that, or because you saw it on TikTok and you're really interested, like don't do that.
Yeah. I just feel like you should save your money for things that you actually need. And
Yes.
that was my next point, to buy necessities over wants. Because I feel like, especially me, when I used to work back then, I used to like say like, "Oh, now that I work, I want to buy this and that because I couldn't buy it before." And I feel like you should always kind of hold yourself back from that because then you just spend more money than you want to. Because for me back then, I was like always getting food. I was always like, "Oh, I want to get food. I have the money for it anyways." And I feel like that's something that you should hold yourself back from, and you should buy your necessities. Like for example, I remember I only had like $20 in my bank account, and instead of using that for my gas, I used that for food. And so that's why like I always, and then I remember I was like, oh, like now I need gas and I don't have any more money because I got my $16 Chipotle burrito.
Oh
Literally,
wow.
I only had $4 for gas.
Oh my
And so then
gosh.
that's why I'm like, you should always put your necessities like gas, I don't know, oil, like maybe going to change your tires, I don't know, over your wants, like food, clothes, shoes, makeup, anything that you see, like you said. You should definitely put your necessities over your wants, like necessities, even like a vehicle. Like if you want to buy a car, then you should put that over wanting to buy concert tickets.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's my point for that. And then my last piece of information I was gonna say, of advice, is to set yourself up for success. So what I mean by this is like watch who you surround yourself with, your environment, what habits you get into, like for example, drinking, smoking, and stuff like that, maybe drugs and stuff. I feel like you should always set yourself up for success because it also depends on the people that you surround yourself with. Like if you surround yourself with people who are just around negative stuff, bad habits, do bad things, then I feel like you tend to fall into that. And like I understand that everyone is kind of like in charge of their own actions, but I feel like there's also a lot of temptation around in this world, and I feel like you could be at a really low point in your life and like maybe fall into that one day if you surround yourself with people who do such things like that. And plus, like, on top of that, surrounding yourself with people, like, there could be people that are jealous, that try to wish the worst upon you. I know I've heard stories um of like their friends setting them up, like,
For
in general,
failure.
yeah, for failure, like do things on purpose to see them, like, to prey on their downfall. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why, like, you always have to watch out who you surround yourself with, to set yourself up for success in the future. So, as well as, like, it's always good to, like, I guess, have time for yourself to de-stress yourself. Like, maybe go out to a party every once in a while, because, like, I guess you're young, and you want to go out and enjoy yourself. But never like never like set yourself up for failure, as in, like, going and driving after drinking. Then, like, that just takes you to another thing. Like, you
Yeah.
can enjoy yourself safely, and just, like, think about your future always, and what you do, and, like, the people that you're with. So that was my last piece of advice. I hope that this piece of advice, or these pieces of advice, kind of help a lot of people, because I know that I've said a lot of these through experience, because I'm pretty young, but I feel like I also have experienced a lot of these just in general, being 16. And, like, especially, like, when you get older, you learn more and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that you have more pieces of advice than just what I said.
And now we're gonna move into the last scenario for that we have for this podcast. So this scenario is, I'm paranoid that my autistic brother will murder me and my whole family. I'm a 21-year-old female and my brother is a 26-year-old male. He's always had a violent past. When he was in middle school, he went to court for pulling out scissors and pretending to stab his classmate. It was eventually dismissed. He's always loved crime slash violence videos, and this has led him becoming very violent the past 2 years. But my mom just brushes it off because he's quote unquote autistic. He always says he will kill us, makes holes in the wall, punches the walls too, etc. He isn't on any medication. He also plays violent video games. I don't want to die, but I feel stuck. So what advice would you give to this 21-year-old female?
Okay, well, she's 21.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my advice would be move out. Move out. Like, I understand if you're not financially there, but if you're really terrified for your life over your brother being autistic, then move out. Try to get away from that situation. I feel like she should also definitely take him to some, like, psych ward or something to get him mentally checked out. Because I know that, like, if he likes violence a lot, that can I feel like those are the first stages to, like, serial killers and stuff. So I definitely feel like I suggest for her to, like, for one, get herself out of that situation, and for two, I feel like he should get professionally checked out.
Well, what about, because she says she's concerned for herself and for her whole family. What
Oh, okay.
about like her mom and her siblings and her parents? Like what do you suggest for them?
Okay, for them, okay. I would say first to get him professionally checked out, maybe. Then after that step, we can see moving forward what would need to happen. Because obviously, if they see something that's abnormal in him, they would have to take different steps. As in, like, medication, maybe staying a couple days in the psych ward. I don't know. Like, but definitely feel like you would have to see your next steps after getting him professionally checked out. And, like, as far as the family, I guess try to take precaution again around the boy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think for me personally, I think this is a really tough situation. I would say kind of like what Yasmin said, like, take him to get evaluated because this could be something more than just autism. Because I've never heard any autistic person be this into like violence and like being threatening like the family, saying that they're gonna kill them and stuff like that. Like, I've never seen that, so I don't know if that's normal. I don't have a lot of experience with autistic people, but I feel like also like just him being at home playing violent video games is not going to help. I feel like maybe if you guys are able to, maybe take that away. Um, maybe, yeah, if the doctors can get him on some sort of medication that maybe will relax him some more, maybe that will also help the situation. Um, and I think also like making sure that he doesn't have access to like any weapons. Like when I say weapons, I mean like kitchen knives or anything that he can use against you guys. I think that that would be a big thing to like kind of prevent him being able to attack y'all, because we're talking about a 26-year-old man. Like we're not talking about a 5-year-old little boy. We're talking about a 26-year-old man, so he can definitely be um dangerous. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would definitely say take those precautions. Maybe try even to reach out to like what are those people called, Yasmin? Like the social workers? Yeah, the social workers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try to reach out to a social worker, see if you guys can get some type of like therapy or something. Maybe some, I know there's like behavioral therapy that maybe he might be able to get use out of. Because I feel like, yeah, this is definitely something that can escalate very quickly, and yeah, we don't want that to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be our advice. That's the best we can do and say. But yeah, definitely reach out for help. Do not continue to stay in this situation how it is, cuz yeah, it's just it doesn't sound safe. But that is the last scenario we have for today. Remember to follow us on our Instagram at Para Podcast. If you guys have any requests that you guys want us to do, then you guys can DM us on there. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.